Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast, a 30-minute mini version of the In Wheel Time car show that airs live every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central.
And then Don misses the button.
Well, a good Saturday morning to you, and welcome to the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Coming up, we're going to talk about a Christmas gift for the reading racer.
All right.
I dreamt that up. I thought that was pretty good. Jeff has a segment on leasing versus buying an electric vehicle. Conrad has the racing calendar and car clinic. And later we have the stories making automotive news headlines this week. It's all just ahead on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars, King Conrad DeLong. We always need more Jeff Zekin. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad that you could join us on this Saturday morning, the last day for daylight savings time.
Oh, man. I'm not doing it.
Oh, we fall back tonight?
No,
Yeah.
you spring
Tomorrow
back.
night.
We fall back tonight. Oh, actually,
Yeah, it is.
Tomorrow
Today is Saturday. I forgot.
So I get an extra hour's sleep. How did you forget today was Saturday?
how
Brown water.
did you have brown water last night, Mars?
No, this morning on the way in.
I drank it driving. Good. That's good. That's always good. Okay, well, at any rate, so we started off with a bang already. We tested the system, and everything was looking pretty good when I tested it.
Until Don did something.
Something's happened. I don't know what, but I'll work on that while you guys carry on.
Oh, we like carrying on.
There's no doubt about
We
it.
like that.
We're also waiting for our first guest to join us via the satellite and also whatever
interwebs.
whatever the cup and string is this morning.
I know a young lady that could probably build us our own satellite.
Yes.
Or at least launch it.
Well,
build
no,
it
actually,
too. She could build it. She built it.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Katie's in town. This is
Is she?
She is. She's over at her mother's house, and they're wallpapering a room over there.
Cool.
But she was telling us that all of her preparation for the satellite that they're about to launch has been completed successfully, and it's gone through testing and stuff, and that she is going to be going to France in March for the
To launch? Oh,
Mhm.
cool.
Do you think she could build us a stream deck too?
I bet you she could. Mars, did you do something to this thing?
Well, no, it worked
that's why
earlier.
took-
It worked
that's why I
20
took it
minutes
home.
ago.
I know, and I don't understand why it's not working now, but for some reason, it's not. It's not. I don't know.
Well, it's
And that's
And
going to be a
that runs
problem.
all our commercials.
is.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So I don't know what the problem is. But
You'll have to sing the Lupe Tortilla song.
we're the tacos of Loma Linda. We sing of great Mexico. Oh, no, that's the wrong place. That's out of business. Never mind.
there once was a taco from Nantucket. No, that's the wrong song.
Yeah, that was a limerick. I think.
Trans-
It's a limerick.
Translation there.
Yeah. So I don't know.
I don't know my music.
Yeah, well, we don't know anything, actually, of what's going on here with anything.
This is
But-
fun.
It is. It's always fun. So we're still waiting for that guest. But in the meantime and in between time, I'm going to start us off with a horror story.
Oh, no.
Since, Halloween was last week. I thought that this would
Post-Halloween.
be
There you go.
a new marketing campaign in Minnesota has a warning for consumers thinking of visiting a car dealership. Quote, "Don't get screwed," end quote. What's unusual is that the message is coming from a group of dealerships. Apple Autos, which has 6 stores near the Twin Cities, has launched ads on TV, radio, billboards, and social media, proclaiming that it doesn't do any of the dumb, quote, dumb, unnecessary behavior, end quote, that people often think dealerships use to sell cars. In the commercials, customers brag to friends and family that they didn't get screwed when buying their new vehicle. Ixnay on the Screwing A. An actor in one of the 3 spots says the ads promote the group's 7-day money-back guarantee and end with different musical renditions of the tagline, "Don't get screwed." So I think that's good, and I think that's good enough for us all to look that up. It's probably on YouTube.
Well, who did the music "Don't Get Screwed"?
Well, don't do it here because we'll get sued.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Don't get screwed or sued.
Yeah,
It's happened before.
Yes, it
Some
has happened.
dweeb in Russia will turn us in.
Yeah. So no dweebs from Russia turning us in because we're not going to play the darn thing.
Well,
But at any rate,
AutoNation started that 3-day, 100-mile return back in the day.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oldsmobile did it too.
Mm-hmm.
You had 30 days and 500 miles.
Yeah,
to
this
get the
was
car back.
some time and mileage commitment.
so what happens with those cars after they get 100 miles on them? Can you still sell them as new?
Nope. MSO's already been closed on it.
But on a pre-owned,
What's an
it's
MSO?
The manufacturer.
manufacturer suggested options or something?
No, it's the "I'm a new car" document. I don't remember what MSO.
But you
stands
could so let me understand this. So I could go to a dealership and the car has 0.7 miles on it.
for. Mhm.
That's not even 1 mile, and it's still considered new.
Mhm.
But if it goes to 10 miles, then it's not considered new any longer?
No, it just depends on whether or not the MSO has been closed on it.
Well, what closes an MSO, whatever the MSO stands for?
They report it to the manufacturer as a sold unit.
But it can also be sold as a demo.
Well, demos are different because demos are reported to the manufacturer as demonstrators.
What happens if a customer gets bailed? Because there's a lot of bailments. Hey, drive it for the weekend, come back and buy it on Monday.
Oh, the puppy dog close?
Well, no, that's a bailment. is
Yeah.
what they
Well,
call it.
what it, okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know the lingo here.
Bailment
Puppy
is
dog thing.
well, that's
Well, puppy
soft
dog
sale.
close is it's kind of like give a child a puppy and they're going to fall in love with it. Give a customer a car for the weekend. High probability is they're going to fall in love with it and want it, and then you get a chance to put them together and sell them.
Yeah, they're not going to want to give it up.
But a bailment's only good for I think a total of 72 hours.
Well, that's the legal
The legal part.
legal
of it.
way of it.
We used to do that all the time.
But a lot of people don't do it the legal way. They just puppy dog them. In the industry, that's what it's called.
But so
Puppy
far as the
dog.
AutoNation side, they were already used vehicles anyways back in the day.
Well, yeah.
So you could resell the vehicle.
But on the new side, with like Oldsmobile, with their money back guarantee, the car would come back and it would be sold as a used car through their used car program.
And those that didn't want the car, you'd have to retain or keep their trade-in if they had one.
Right. Yeah, they didn't get their money. It wasn't a money back guarantee,
Right,
but they could roll it into another car,
Mhm.
a different car,
Yep.
vehicle. It didn't happen very often.
No. So is that the end of your story?
That was the end
That
of the
was-
questions.
Yeah, the end of the questions because the story ended a long time
Okay.
ago.
But there's different ways for dealers to turn you upside down and shake all the money out of your pockets.
Mhm.
You know, different dealers get caught with all of these documentation fees. You know, oh, it's $300 for the title fee. You know, it's $150 for documentation. There's, some of them will charge you for a travel fee, and the travel fee is because the title clerk has to drive to the title office to file all the title documents. Hey, there we go.
Along with 400
Don
other
fixed it. He turned something on.
along with 400 other documents.
Plugged it in.
Unplugged it. This
Oh.
is a Mars wire that I had plugged in that
That HDMI wire?
that killed the audio. But now we got it.
Is that for the board too then?
That's
That's the one for the
interesting.
board.
Okay, well, we don't need to really.
But we know
We
now.
don't have to show our dirty laundry here. Now,
Well, thanks, Don. We appreciate that.
well, you especially.
Oh yeah.
Well, you were going to get up and dance a few minutes ago. We're glad you didn't do that either.
Exactly. All right. So we were supposed to have a guest that Mr. Mars had confirmed yesterday
Mhm.
and spoke to him from the British Isles.
Merry old England.
hmm And the book was called The Story of the Terrell Racing Organization by Richard Jenkins, forward by Sir Jackie Stewart. Who, by the way, I saw him on the pregame show, if you will, from Circuit of the Americas in the Formula One race. I saw him there.
Cool story about him. I did not realize he struggled educationally as much as he did.
I told you that last night at dinner because the way I brought it up, they have these pit reporters on F1, and they're going and they're doing all their pit reporting.
Which is actually kind of cool.
It is. But Jackie Stewart, I'm the pit reporter. Jackie Stewart's standing here, and the guy's, oh, who do we get next? And he's, why don't you talk to Jackie Stewart? And I didn't know that he was dyslexic until his mid-40s.
Still is.
Still is. But he was diagnosed because his son was undiagnosed dyslexic, and they were treating his son, and he figured out that.
And how much he struggled as a child,
Yeah.
and how much he struggled as,
bullied
as
and
a
all
young
that.
adult.
Yeah.
And where racing was kind of his way of resolving
His outlet. Yeah.
his stuff. But, you know, you got to think, Jackie Stewart drove for Terrell.
We're going to call
Racing,
it Terrell.
But they had some pretty famous drivers for Terrell. They had Stewart, they had Jackie Ickx, Jody Scheckter,
Oh, my.
Patrick DePaolier, Michele Alboreto, Martin Brundle, who is one of the pit
Right,
reporters on F1,
Mhm.
Mika Salo, John Alesi, and the Terrell. You know, people will remember Terrell. I don't know.
Just give, you know.
They were the ones in Formula One. They were very innovative. They were always playing with new stuff. They were the ones that produced the 6-wheel Formula One
Oh,
car
I remember that thing.
with the 4 turning front tires
Yes.
and then the 2 big tires in the back, which eventually ended up getting outlawed. They also did some stuff with fuel tanks that were a structural part of the vehicle that saved weight. That ended up getting outlawed by F1 as well. And then they got caught at one Grand Prix. They were running some kind of water injection system, and it was found out that the water injection system was like 85% what they called aromatics. So it was a burnable product. And as they were spraying aromatics,
Uh-huh.
and as they sprayed it
remember
into
those
the
from high
engine,
school
it
days.
it created fuel.
Yeah.
So they ended up getting busted for that.
Yeah.
Well, I think some incense would have been fine at that time. Don't you?
And then Terrell evolved into the Braun racing team when Ross Braun bought the reins of Terrell, and then he won 2 championships with the team that he bought, and then that team evolved into what today is the Mercedes racing team. So, from Terrell to Braun to Mercedes, and then somewhere in there it was Matro, which is a French company. As well. So,
Well,
that
the point I'm trying to make is that the interview could have been better. I mean, he's walking around interviewing the guy that puts air in the tires and stuff. Jackie, you got an icon right there. And who's the Danica Patrick is part of all that?
Yeah.
Turn that TV off.
Yeah, she's
I
not.
ripped the cord out. I cut it. It's no more watching.
Well,
Yeah,
she's
she's-
easy on the eyes, but she doesn't contribute anything to
No,
the broadcast.
on your
I
eyes.
don't think so either.
Oh no,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, I don't think she brings the knowledge. Yeah, she's a driver, and she was, in my opinion, she was a successful driver, not outrageously successful,
own mind.
but she was successful for a bit. But I never thought that she. When I've watched her on the shows, and she's done more than just COTA. She's
Yeah.
done a couple other
She's
shows.
done some NASCAR stuff,
Yeah.
and
I don't think she brings much knowledge to the show. Michael Waltrip, though he's a goober, he actually brings a lot
I
of
agree.
knowledge to the
Yeah.
show, and a lot of fun. And as do some of the other NASCAR guys. Martin Brundle brings a lot to the F1 show
I agree.
because of
Knowledge,
his
yeah,
knowledge,
the knowledge
as
of
a
it.
driver and his knowledge of the people. Even though when he does that, not the pit walk, the grid walk. He's grabbing people to talk to him, and some of them just turn their back on him and walk away.
Go away,
It's like,
yeah.
who are you?
that's
Well, I wouldn't recognize the guy. Would I recognize him? I'd
No,
recognize
no.
Don Garlitz, but I wouldn't
No,
recognize
probably wouldn't
Mr.
recognize
Brundle.
him. Yeah, but
I recognize the name, but I don't.
his grid walks I think are kind of fun to watch.
They are.
Because, he ended up. Who was it? Serena Williams. And
That's right. Yes.
He ended up almost in trouble over his attempt to talk to Serena Williams because her bodyguard kind of
pushed him aside,
peeled him
yeah,
off.
yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I
It
didn't
was,
see that.
It was bad. I think that
Because the
was
bodyguard didn't know who he was, and
Yeah.
he's a bodyguard.
and he's just showing up with a microphone trying to ask her questions, and she wasn't interested in answering any.
Yeah.
And he's walked up to some music stars that kind of the same thing happened as well. They have no idea who he is, and they're not interested in talking to him. But he brings a lot of knowledge to the show.
I've discovered that Mars is like a 16-year-old with a cell phone. He is stuck, glued, and in.
He's working on the guest.
I know he is, but I just had to call him out.
If you get hold of Prince Charles,
Did you know that
Here we go.
there's only 5 hours difference between here and England? Not 6.
Well, with daylight savings now, it's going to be what?
4.
I'm not sure.
Does
If we
England,
bounce back an hour,
does England
that
save
adds
Did
an
daylight?
did you explain to the guest from England that we're here in the United States on Central Daylight Time?
I think we
Yeah,
need
Did you
to.
explain all of that?
Apparently not.
Buckingham Palace needs
but
to get involved in
he's
this.
traveling, and I'm thinking that's where we got messed up because he went to a different time zone, I think. Anyway, I'm
He
going
isn't
to try
gonna be here?
reschedule him whenever we can get our time straight from
Okay.
England.
Let's synchronize our
'Cause
watches.
There's not enough time now for him
there's
to
not.
join.
No, there's not because we have to. We're going to take a little break right now.
Well, Terrell
Yeah.
had quite a bit of funding from Ford, and then there was a period of time where they were running the Matro V12 engine
Okay.
from Chrysler.
Here we go.
Anyhow,
Anything else?
no, that's fine.
Okay. Hey, if you'd like to get in touch with us, shoot us an email. The address here is info@inwheeltime.com. We've got more of the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show coming up right after this quick break. Tailpipes and Tacos is back. It's been a while, but the popular Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise In returns to the Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy, and it's an extra special one. Bring your Hot Rod Classic or Modern Classic to compete for one of the famous Chili Pepper trophies and get a free breakfast taco. Just make a donation of any size to God's Garage and Lupi's will match it. You'll be helping single mothers who need a set of wheels. It's been almost a year in the making, so you won't want to miss Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday, November 11th, 8 to 11 a.m. Cruise in, donate what you want to God's Garage, and grab a free Lupi Tortilla breakfast taco. Tailpipes and Tacos only happens at the Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy at 703 West Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of the Katy Freeway. It's car show season, and what better way to kick it off than a free taco and camaraderie at Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday, November 11th, 8 to 11 a.m. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show will be there too. Proceeds benefit God's Garage, weather permitting.
Rogers Dabbs Chevrolet and GM Performance has the absolute best price that you will find on GM parts plus transmissions and engines. Over $25 million in parts and powertrain inventory and customer service that will be not matched by anyone in the country. Rogers Dabbs Chevrolet and GM Performance, whether you are a drag racer, an oval track racer, a hot rodder, it matters not. Rogers Dabbs Chevrolet and GM Performance will have the best price in the country, the best customer service, and the best delivery times that you will find on your GM parts. It can be on your dock, at your front door in a matter of days. It's Rogers Dabbs Chevrolet, GM Performance, and customer service to boot. Contact our Texas team, Gina Shile-Knowles at 713-907-0906 or Rodney Rodriguez at 512-300-4445. You will not find better service or better inventory in the country. Rogers Dabbs and GM Performance.
And welcome back to the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show on this Saturday. And a reminder, you heard the commercial there, that we're going to be scheduled at the Tailpipes and Tacos event for the first time in 11 months out at the Lupi Tortilla in Katy
Next weekend.
next Saturday morning from 8 to 11.
Be there.
Yes, be there. Plan on being there. Now, we're hearing that there may be a weather issue. And so, let me hear it again.
We don't want to hear that. Nanu.
Chevy Chase.
Caddyshack. All right, time now for the In Wheel Time race card. Conrad, you got to sit up. This segment sponsored by Texas Nostalgia Modified Production. Have at it.
Well, next weekend is the finals in Pomona for NHRA. So going to be a big weekend. A couple of, or actually all three of the pro categories are still kind of up for grabs. I think the pro stock bike is kind of, that's done. I think Guerrera has finally settled that out. Erica is 114 points up in first place in Pro Stock. And I think the math is if she makes it to the semifinals, she wins the championship for a sixth time.
Mm-hmm.
But at 114, I think Pomona is also double points is why she's got to get to the semifinals. Next weekend is also Martinsville Raceway for NASCAR. Tonight or tomorrow is there at Homestead. And then Phoenix, the finale, is November 5th. Formula One is at Mexico City next weekend. And then they're in Brazil on 11/5. And they are in Las Vegas on 11/19.
Wait, I thought Mexico Formula One was last weekend.
It was the 29th.
Okay.
My fault. Yep. I'm reading my notes from last week. And then, but Las Vegas.
He's editing as he goes because he didn't do his homework.
Yeah, I did. So, and the racing season is primarily
All of the
coming
students
to an
in the
end.
class always say that.
Mhm.
I
Yep.
did my homework, teacher.
My dog ate it.
Dog ate it.
Susie ate it.
No, Susie doesn't eat paper.
No.
She eats everything else, but not paper. By the way, speaking of television coverage, which we weren't doing, but we're going to now, I was really ticked off with the Houston Astros coverage that was on a network that I don't have. Why is it not on regular broadcast television, at least locally on some station? Why?
It was. It was on Fox
It was on
broadcast.
Fox, yeah.
Pay-per-view.
No.
No, it was FS1
Fox.
and regular Fox.
See, that's not. No.
But they were also on regular Fox.
Mhm.
Fox broadcast. Some on FS1, but also on Fox.
Well, we couldn't
broadcast.
see most of it.
Well,
I
we
can
could-
tell you that, and it ticked me off, which leads me into the whole thing with drag racing. Because all of a
It's
sudden,
all on FS1.
all of FS1.
Yeah.
And it's delayed.
So here's, delayed.
I hate
And
that.
the other thing that I just don't understand is they want ratings, okay? So why wouldn't you, in your negotiation with whatever network it is, that you have these many broadcasts that are going to be to the public? And when you get to the end of the season, just hang on. When you get to the end of the season, especially. So what they did was the network used drag racing to fill time on the network when there wasn't anything really going on. And now that it's coming down to the crunch, you can't watch it. You got to either go to nhra.com and pay to watch it, or you have to go to FS1, pay to watch it.
Or Disney Plus or whatever they're on.
No, that's not the way to do.
Or you go to a bar and you watch it. And then you get a drink.
Yes, sir.
So the way it worked, it's money, then ratings.
There's also discussion.
But they go hand in hand.
But money's
they
priority.
hurt themselves by doing it that way.
But if you make enough money,
there's popularity.
unlike us, money's their driving force.
Popularity in F1 because of things happening. They're changing different stuff. They're going to look into making NASCAR races shorter, and they're thinking that will bring back more viewers that way too.
I think quarter mile straight run ought to be enough.
NASCAR. There you
So
go.
the Daytona
I think that'd be a
500
great
kilometer.
idea.
It'd be like the
You
Daytona
could have a
100
rolling
or
start,
something. I
come
don't
out
know.
of that turn.
No, there's
Boom,
no,
and
no,
go.
there's no rolling start. Just put a different gear set in it, put it up there with the Christmas tree, and let them go.
They got slicks.
There, yeah, exactly. And they steer real good.
Left.
Got plenty of room to slow down.
Some,
Left.
Okay.
not all. Some.
There you
So you
go.
could put a bend in that quarter
You know,
mile drag strip.
Back in the day, I was never a big fan of Riverside. Now, looking back on it, gosh, I wish Riverside were back.
Why?
The landscaping, which was none. It was a track that was built out there in basically the desert of California. Of course, now it's a neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
But
Well, Sonoma is basically the same thing. There's,
yeah, but you've got rolling. It's different, Sonoma. But anyway, time now.
That
Yes.
reminds me.
teacher.
Reminds me. The we were talked about
Need to
once
make this
before.
quick,
Cutting into my
When
time
Baytown
here.
shut down, some of the guys went up to Lufkin to Pine Tree, or not Pine Tree, Pine Valley,
Pine
whatever
Valley.
it is. NHRA is going to make a stop in one of the regional events in Lufkin next year. They put it on the
Alrighty.
schedule
But
already.
it will not be the pros.
No.
It
But it didn't say who it
Exactly.
was.
Time now for Jeffrey's feature of the week.
Finally.
Leasing versus buying an electric vehicle.
That's right. Leasing versus buying. Yeah, there's a lot of takeaways to this. And if now you got to write this down, you got to get your pro and con chart out in front of you. Leasing an EV, Mike, gives you access to new technology more frequently. Also with leasing, buying means that the EV, you won't face mileage limits and the wear and tear of the fees. With both of these, leasing and buying gives you access to tax credits, Conrad. Who doesn't like those? The world of electric vehicles is still in its infancy, and the vehicles have increased 50% since 2022.
The cost of the new ones.
The percentage of people buying them has increased 50%.
All right.
So signing off on long-term ownership of a vehicle seemingly to a new market is kind of risky, especially when you don't know how much the parts are going to be, the maintenance that's going to happen, and the actual age of the vehicle. When do you have to turn it in? So while buying an EV is best for some drivers ready to commit, it's not for everyone. Leasing an electric vehicle may be beneficial, Conrad, if you want to try out maybe a hybrid rather than an EV. If you drive frequently and do not have access to charging stations in your area, leasing may be a good way to go. Test the waters without a commitment of long term, sort of like marriage, Mike. And there are other benefits, drawbacks to leasing versus buying.
Shut up.
This should also play a role in your decision when it comes to making a decision on any hybrid. So write this down, Mike. Pros of leasing an EV: you get vehicle warranty, you get a lower monthly payment, you get the newest tech features around, and I'm going to tell a quick story after this about Cadillac. The cons, Mike, to leasing an EV is no equity. You have difficulty to the end of your lease. You've got, if you can't do it early, then don't do it.
But that no equity and difficulty is standard for any lease.
Right. It is.
Not just EVs.
Exactly. But that all plays into it. Yeah. It doesn't matter what an EV is or a tractor. Vehicle restrictions. You have certain restrictions on that as well. Now, buying an electric vehicle, the pros of buying, you have full ownership, which we all have, no vehicle restrictions, and tax incentives and credits. So that all comes into play as well. The cons to buying an EV: expensive upfront cost, rapidly changing technology. You get downloads all the time. Potentially steep depreciation values, or non-value it should be. So that's part of it as well. The bottom line is the best approach to leasing or buying an EV is the same for anything. Shop. Do your homework for a conventional vehicle or for an EV. For some, the benefits of the newest available technology is the way to go, while others getting behind the wheel of a vehicle with the confidence and incentives to make more sense of ownership. So do your homework. There's also, for EVs, there's also what they call green loans. If you have an EV, they'll give you different rates for a green vehicle. Now, I was at the Cadillac dealership. I was at Bayway this past week doing some other things, and I talked to one of the service writers about it. I said, that Lyriq is gorgeous. Man, I want one. I want two of them. He goes, no, you don't. He goes, there's an update like every other day, downloading. There's always some kind of failure of this technology and that. He goes, you don't want that. So, sorry, Cadillac. Had to put that out there. Yeah.
Hey, the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show is available 24/7 through the iHeartRadio app. All you have to do is look for In-Wheel Time Car Talk. We also video stream on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com, and we are live on InWheelTime.com. Podcasts at your fingertips on over a dozen of the most popular podcast outlets. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show continues right after this quick break.
Hey, Houston! America's greatest hot rod tradition is back! Thanksgiving weekend! The O'Reilly Auto Parts Autorama! At the George R. Brown Convention Center. 4 action-packed days of hot rods, customs, classics, trucks, and performance cars. The ultimate lowrider showcase. Sponsored by Shorty's Hydraulics. See Lone Star Throwdowns, Texas-sized truck spread. And don't miss the traditional rod and custom section. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, see wild, high-flying freestyle motocross stunt shows. Shop the swap meet and Women's World all weekend on the Celebrity Stage, presented by Nick's Auto Repair and Classic Car Restoration. Friday, meet AEW Tag Team Superstars, the Lucha Bros. Saturday, it's Noel G, Hector from the Fast and Furious. Sunday, it's Lou Ferrigno, the original Incredible Hulk, the O'Reilly Auto Parts Autorama. November 23rd through 26th at the George R. Brown Convention Center. Discount tickets at O'Reilly Auto Parts, part of the Summer Racing Equipment Show Car Series. See Autorama.com for more info.
Houston's finest cars are invited to another Gulf Coast Auto Shield Car Social, Saturday, December 2nd, and you're invited too. Show off your personal pride and joy, or just stop in to see the likes of Lucid, Lamborghini, Porsche, Ferrari, and more. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your one-stop shop for paint detailing, coatings, window tint, clear bras, and wheel repair. The Car Social is your opportunity to get a tour of this state-of-the-art facility located at 11275 South Sam Houston Parkway, just south of the Southwest Freeway. It all takes place Saturday, December 2nd, 9 to noon. This is the perfect opportunity to connect with other car enthusiasts. From BMWs to Bentleys, Corvettes to McLarens, the Car Social is a different kind of show. Talk to the owners. See Gulf Coast Auto Shield's facility. You'll be amazed. Put it on your calendar now. The Gulf Coast Auto Shield Car Social, Saturday, December 2nd, 9 to noon at 11275 South Sam Houston Parkway, just south of the Southwest Freeway. The In Real Time Car Talk Show will be there too. We'll see you then. That's it for this podcast episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts.